Hey, good morning, church. Here we are again, Philippians chapter 1, today verses 12 through 14. And this follows on the sermon that we heard this past Sunday, where we're talking about we can rejoice in Christ no matter our circumstances. What I love about Paul is he's like raw, man. He's a real guy, and he's really struggling with real things, right? We talk about Paul, we're like, oh, maybe prison was easy for him. It was prison, and there's no way prison's easy for anybody, but he still rejoices. And today he rejoices in verses 12, 13, and 14 because the gospel still goes forward. Listen to what he says. I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel, so that it may become known throughout the whole imperial guard and and to all the rest that my imprisonment is for Christ. And most of the brothers, having become confident in the Lord by my imprisonment, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. So get what Paul is saying. He's like, you know what? Everything that's happened to me in my life, God has used it for His glory, for the gospel message. First question to think about, what in your life, or maybe think about it this way, how has God used your life for the advancement of the gospel? Can you see maybe things that you thought were bad or not happy that God has used for the advancement of the gospel? Second thing I want you to get, verse 14, I think this is important. He says, most of the brothers, they've become, listen, confident because of my imprisonment and more bold to speak without fear. Why? Because of my imprisonment. Here's what Paul is saying. Paul's like, because I suffered and I shared that suffering with all of my brothers, those guys, those girls, man, they are bold in sharing their similar testimony. Christian, can you think of something in your life that you could share with somebody else that would make it so that somebody else would be more bold in what they're living through, what they're going through?